Welcome to Inside Farm Life, your weekly connection to agriculture newsmakers, hot-button industry issues, educational features, and the best in true country music. Now, here's your host, Brent Adams.
Well, welcome to the first episode of Inside Farm Life Live. We appreciate you giving us some of your time today. We kick things off by taking things back to the country with country music singer-songwriter Kirstie Kraus, who has a new single, Bird, that was just released. We'll tell you all about that here in a bit. But first of all, Kirstie, welcome in to Inside Farm Life, my friend.
Thank you so much. First episode. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me as your first guest. I feel honored.
Excited to do it. And we also want to say a special hello to our friends on the Beer Money Pulling Team Facebook page, where we're also live right now. All those tractor pulling fans, also big country music fans. So, that's something they know up your way. You're a native of Janesville, Wisconsin. Before we go any further, tell us about your path from Janesville to Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I started singing when I was 2 years old. I started getting on stages when I was 4 and 5 and doing plays, etc. Anything you think of, I was a part of. Even then eventually got into the cover band world and was doing all the festivals up there and knew that it was time. I was kind of slowly gearing up. So I started visiting Nashville first time when I was 11, but doing regular visits when I was 15, started writing with people when I was 15 in Nashville, and just always knew that was a place where I wanted to live. So now I have my own place right here on the west side in Bellevue, and I'm staying.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle.
And you're coming up on 4 years there.
Yeah, it's been just over 3.5, so 4 years will be October 3rd.
Is it everything you hoped it would be at this point?
Oh yeah, Music City is literally the place where you can get things done. I was just telling you before we went live, we were playing over at Johnny Cash's yesterday with, Luke Combs' drummer and stuff like that. To have stuff like that happen and to be able to play with that type of caliber of musicians is something I'm really grateful for. And to be able to write with the people I've been able to write with just because I'm physically here in Music City has been really fun. Lots of new songs. I've been writing a lot of new stuff.
Well, you talk about that caliber, and you're definitely of that caliber as well. So now that they know who you are, can you give them a taste of the Kirstie Kraus sound? Will you play one for us?
Oh, yeah. What's up, guys? Okay, so this song is called If It Were Worse. I wrote it with Bonnie Lee Panda out on her porch in Hendersonville. And this one is on the upcoming record, which will be coming out later this year. Wish I heard you were cheating. Wish you'd been lying through your teeth. Each day I'm looking for a reason. Call it done to ask you to leave. I keep waiting, I keep staying for something else to change. Nothing's wrong, but it ain't right. I'm really sure leaving you tonight. It ain't bad, but it ain't great. I can't leave, but I can't stay. It would be better, it would be better, it would be better if it were worse. All alone after a long day, in the middle another safer day. Kind of couple you don't wanna hate, yet I'm here with your dirty plate, headed down to your place. I keep waiting, I keep staying for something else to change. Nothing's wrong, but it ain't right. I'm really sure leaving you tonight. It ain't bad, but it ain't great. I can't leave, but I can't stay. It would be better, it would be better, it would be better if it were. I wouldn't be questioning myself if it were. I wouldn't be going through this head. I don't want Yeah. Hey, Adam.
Love that. Good stuff there.
It's pretty sassy. That's a really, really kind of sassy song. I hope none of you get a song like that written about you.
But that's country music right there.
Yes, definitely. Especially since we wrote it on a porch, a front porch, because they're all into front porches here down in the South.
Well, I tell you what, last time you and I talked on my previous show, at that time we were contemplating what life would look like on the other side of the pandemic, and as things started to open up. Now you haven't wasted a second as things have opened up. You dropped a new single, and you've gotten word out about that. We're going to talk about that a bit later on the show. You got right out on the road to support it with tour dates, also some radio appearances, all the way to Lynchburg, Tennessee. Where you were this past weekend, over the weekend with Cody Jinks, Hardy, Walker Hayes, Cody Purvis, our buddy Lucas Hogue, and also Joe and Martina. What a lineup that was.
Oh, yeah. That was literally 2 days ago, which feels like a million years ago. I haven't skipped a beat. I'm so ready for live music to be back. The fact that I just got to play on one of the biggest, country music festivals, like right near Nashville, was so cool. They asked for me back this year, and I'm ready. I'm ready to get more and more out on the road. We're looking at Florida. We're looking at dates for Arizona and Texas and Colorado, and of course the Midwest.
What was it like being in front of those larger crowds again?
It felt really good. It just, a lot of times when I step on stage, and especially in a place like that, I'm feeding off the band, I'm feeding off the crowd, and I'm so happy to be there and sharing new music. Like 2 days ago, we tried a new song I just posted on my Instagram called Selfish, and for me, that was my first time hearing it with a full band and hearing it come to life. So it brings me so much joy to be able to not only hear it myself and be like grooving with the band, but see people in the audience grooving with that song and their reaction to it. And that's been, it's been a long time for that. So it's really good to be able to see that reaction firsthand with the humans, like right there.
Well, I tell you what, if you haven't seen that, make sure you go follow her on Instagram and check that out, because you talk about sassy songs. That's a sassy little number there too.
Yeah, Selfish I wrote with Emily Kroll, who just broke the Billboard charts. It's amazing with Priscilla Block's songs. And that song is really about taking time for yourself. And like, no matter what, feel free to unplug, say no, take that time. I think I reference, yoga and taking a bath and throwing your hair in a bun and watching reruns and all that stuff. So it's a really fun song. I think a lot of people can relate to it.
Well, I think a lot of people tapped into that side during the pandemic. And I want to go back and talk about that pandemic shutdown period a bit, because it came at a time where you were trying to get music out there and you were building some momentum for yourself. How did you use that time to do the things that you knew would set you up for success on the other side of the shutdown?
Yeah, I mean, normally around that February, March time, I'm kind of wrapping up what the entire year is going to look like for shows. So I would be in my email, like all up in my email, coordinating dates. So I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Like, obviously, those emails would be useless. So I started emailing and reaching out to any sort of brands like yourself. I think we got together over the quarantine and did something like this. And I would introduce myself to any sort of brand, whether it was an Instagram message or an email to the UK, to Australia, and really try to utilize what was happening online. Like who can I meet? And now I fast forward today, I use the word lovely, like all the time, like on the regular. I use the word class from Ireland, I'm like, oh, that's class. And it totally has rubbed off on me, because I pretty much talk to people across the pond as much as I talk to people here.
Well, I tell you what, one of the great releases for you that came through the shutdown was this the song Thirsty.
Oh.
And I want to roll this video, but before I do, tell me a bit about this song.
Thirsty is so special to me. It is a song that shows my vulnerable side for me. I have a hard time like trusting people in a relationship and really like being able to open my heart. And that's what the song is about. And it's like even more awesome that the title is Thirsty, because I tell a lot of people my name rhymes with thirsty. So for a long time, I was writing songs where thirsty, the word, was somewhere in the verse or somewhere in the song. But now this song, it's like the title. So I've always kind of kept that word around, and it was really cool that it was able to be spun in a way that was so meaningful to me. So
also what you affectionately call your fans as well.
The Thirsties, yes.
Right. And if the Thirsties are watching, make sure you drop us a comment in here. Let us know where you're watching from. I see a couple on here, but let us know if you got any questions. Drop those in here. But now I want to roll this video. This is Thirsty on Inside Farm Life.
I'm thirsty for your love. I just wanna drink you up, fill my heart till it's time. Pour me another cup of your love. You are my remedy when life tries to defeat me. Hold my hand underwater and you'll be the air I breathe. I'm not ready to show you everything, building up courage in another drink. Bring me close and don't let me leave. I am still thirsty. Right about now I'll put on my dancing shoes, and I would dance right out of this room, but I wanna stay right here with you. I am still thirsty. When did you say goodnight to me? Every word just right. My whole body smiles and I'm lucky that you are mine. I shake and shiver when you stare me down. In my mahogany eyes are a perfect brown. You hold my hand and I found my ground. I feel so damn good and my heart is pounding, but I'm not ready to show you everything. Building up courage in another drink. Bring me closer, don't let me leave. I am still thirsty. Right about now I'll put on my dancing shoes, and I would dance right out of this room, but I wanna stay right here with you. I am still thirsty. I've always believed and I've waited so long to hold you in my arms. It hasn't been easy, but I found what I've always been looking for. I'm thirsty for your love. I just wanna drink you up and fill my heart till it's time. I'm not ready to show you everything. Building up courage in another drink. So bring me close and don't let me leave. I am still thirsty. Right about now I'll put on my dancing shoes. I would dance right out of this room. I wanna stay right here with you. I am still thirsty. Just wanna say that I love you, and I am still thirsty.
That one still gets you in the feels every time, doesn't it?
Aw, I love that you just shared that. Thank you for sharing that music video.
Great video. And I tell you what, we want to say hi to a few people checking in here. Kyle Waters. What's up, Kyle?
Kyle,
So Adam Pierce.
Maryland.
And Al James from Oregon, Wisconsin.
And Craig. Hey, Craig.
Greg Wilkerson checking in from Maryland. And Lori Kraus checking in. Thank you to everybody who's checking in. Everybody who hasn't dropped a comment, do it. If you got a question, let's hear it here. We got some time. We'll take some questions, find out what's going on. And, as I mentioned a bit ago here, you had a number of stops in Wisconsin here recently. What was it like playing back for the home folks again?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I went right back into my roots, which felt so good. I was talking to a friend on the phone and I was like, up in rural in the sticks. Like that's where we were. That's where my cabin is. We did a little run around northern Wisconsin. I have a family cabin up there on a private lake. And so if I'm not playing a big festival for the 4th of July, I want to be up there. I want to see my grandparents. I want to grill out with my family and just enjoy the lake, enjoy the weather. And we got really lucky with the weather. But being up in the sticks and hanging out with all those people, like I feel like the hick in me came right back. Like those are my people. I understand them. The stories, everybody in Wisconsin, I feel like loves telling stories. Yeah. And they all, and it's just, they elaborate it and it's so much, it was just so much fun. And all of the venues took really good care of us. I even got a new sweatshirt from Sweetwater, which I was really pumped about. And yeah, and we got to see lots of fireworks.
I think that kind of gets lost in Nashville sometimes, and that's something that's been a big mission of ours, trying to, as we say every week, take it back to the country. This is the music and the people this music was created for. Here was the people in the sticks, so to speak.
Absolutely, and I feel like I got so much inspiration for new songs as well. I really am going back to my roots with that kind of stuff. And lots of the songs I've been writing are very, very much for those people and for us to celebrate the country life.
Well, you talked about grilling earlier. One of the things you did to kind of kick off the summer was Brat Fest. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm so happy that Dane County was able to still do a version of Brat Fest. It wasn't the big full-blown version, but I actually did 5 shows in like 3 days and got to meet so many new people. I got to sell merch, which is amazing because this was my first time coming up there and being able to play Brat Fest with a record in hand and having that available with t-shirts and all that stuff. This is my first time, so it felt really good to be able to take pictures with my original Thirsties and meet new people and have them join the journey, which is awesome.
So how do you like your brats prepared?
Oh, well, first they gotta be boiled in beer for like at least 3 hours. 3 hours minimum. And if you can get like a specialty beer, a Spotted Cow, or any sort of like a dark porter is what I like. And then you put it on the grill, put it in the bun. And once you get it on the bun, there's onions, mustard, and a little bit of like a relish type of thing. I also tried sauerkraut for the first time in a really long time and realized that I like that too. So if there's sauerkraut available, put a little bit on that. After all, my last name is Kraus, guys.
You had me all the way up until there.
It's like pickled. Like I tried pickled sauerkraut. It's kind of like a pickledy thing. I was over at my buddy Jacob Vance's place, and for Brat Fest, we were rehearsing for one of the shows, and he had that sauerkraut in his fridge.
Well, you definitely had me at Spotted Cow.
There you go. You had it?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I found when I was packing to go to Wisconsin, I found a hidden pack of Spotted Cow in one of my closets, and it's honestly from my parents who hid the beer for themselves the next time they come to visit. So it's not like it's in the fridge for everybody. It's just for them. And I found it, and I was like, there you go. You know you're from Wisconsin when you have that.
I see a window of opportunity here. I need a new Spotted Cow mule to haul it back when they're coming through this way on the way to Nashville. So we have to give you a call on that one.
Yeah, bring the Spotted Cow. Anytime you come, we'll be glad to take it off your hands.
I love it. And you're going to be up that way again next month. You've got some shows you're doing with Lanco, also with Drake White and Kip Moore.
Yes, super excited for Country on the Berg. That's the end of August. And that's going to be then the next night. I'm kicking off the festival, which is awesome, right in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. And also the next night is Easton Corbin and Billy Currington and Frankie Ballard. So I'm super excited. That's a killer lineup. I'm excited to represent female, women of country for that festival. And no pressure, but yeah, I'm pumped. I'm actually flying back to Wisconsin on the 14th, so on Wednesday, to finish up a show, and that's when I'm doing a show with Landco.
Love it. So having a good team, you mentioned this earlier, some of the great players that you get the opportunity to play with, but having a good team, not just musicians, but also co-writers and producers around you is paramount to your success as an artist. Tell me a bit about the people that you've been working with lately.
Yeah, I mean, I have, as far as the core of the team, my mom is actually my CFO, like admin help, everything. Things have been getting crazy in such a good way. I think I told you, the phone's been blowing up, so I can't complain at all. But of course, can't do it alone. So having my friend Katie Brose and also Rob Reiser, another artist here in Nashville, support me so much as far as physically at shows when I'm in Nashville, like carrying things, letting me just be the artist. That kind of stuff helps tremendously. I have some graphics, help with graphics, Jeff McMahon, and also Jake Taylor helping with video. Booking agents, any people helping to book, especially in Florida and stuff. That's really helpful. But yeah, PR company, can't forget. Perkins Publicity, I just partnered with them to release the single, and coming up with the album release. They are helping me tremendously. I've gotten on some great brands like Cowgirl Magazine and all this stuff. And then the band, I couldn't do shows without a really kick-ass band. So the team is small, but it is mighty, and I'm looking at getting some help with social media as well, so I can really focus on really taking advantage of the fact that the world is opening up and we can do more bookings.
It's opening up quickly, isn't it? It's been just the last 4 or 5 weeks. If you would have taken it back to like December, January, everybody's like, we don't know what's going to happen, in 2021, if we can even get out at all. And then a lot of people are saying, well, maybe the second half of the year. But all of a sudden, man, things just in really about late May, early June opened up. And then all of a sudden it was like this explosion of everybody just cramming in tour dates all of a sudden. And all these festivals you didn't think were going to happen are packing in people shoulder to shoulder. What's that experience been like to watch that? Because it almost feels like a sprint right out of the gate here to try to get dates on the calendar and kind of be one of the first ones to put your music out there.
It's very weird. It's very weird to watch. Like, I mean, some of the festivals that were the end of May, or CMA Fest, the beginning of June, they opted to not do it this year because there was so much unknown. And so I feel like they were like, we can't post about it. Like, we can't just sit here and be like, yep, we're still on, when everything is so unknown. Where the festivals that are more in the end of August, September, they were kind of waiting to see, so they're able to still go on, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, we're all, as artists that are on the sea level, as artists that are, up to Luke Combs, like, we're all talking all these festivals right now. Like, it is a race, like you're saying. So just putting it out there and always be having conversations. I mean, I feel like I've been doing showcases in town now with full band as of a couple weeks ago. So I've been getting a lot of great footage to use for the EPK and to use to be able to book opening slots, whether that looks like acoustic or with a full band. I'm ready.
What's interesting, you talk about CMA Fest being canceled, but I just saw today that CMA is going to do 3 days of live shows at Ascend Amphitheater there in Nashville to, I guess, more or less kind of capture some of that traffic and maybe get people back into town to do some stuff here later this summer. So,
that's good. I didn't hear that yet.
Trying in some form or fashion, and it's some really big artists that are on the bill for those. I don't want to say exactly who, because I'm sure I'll miss somebody, but Go check that out. CMA, 3 days worth of shows here coming up. So a lot going on right now. And I know one of the things that we like to do here on our Back to the Country segment is to expose the listeners to new artists. Who are some of the people that you kind of got your eye on there in the Nashville music scene that you've been paying attention to lately?
I love this question. I love that. So tonight, I mean, Whiskey Jam is a huge thing in Nashville every Monday and Thursday. And now that it's summertime and now that we are able to be open on these Monday nights, they're having outdoor concert series at Losers. And so Losers and Winners is right next to each other, which is funny if any of you guys have never been. But yeah, tonight Hannah Dasher will be performing, and I'm such a fangirl of her. And she just released, I guess, half of her first, half of the EP. So I'm excited to go there tonight. I have a writer's round, and then I'll be heading right over to watch her. So I'm going to probably tell you all females because that's what I love and listen to. Hannah Dasher. I also love Lainey Wilson. Shout out to my new friend Kelly Jean, who's crushing it and having me tonight at the round. I love S.J. McDonald. There's so many female artists that are killing it, and Nashville is. You can tell there's like a wave that's coming underneath us to support that and support female voices being more and more heard. So thank you for having female artists on your show as well. And it feels silly to you to even say that because you have been a supporter, but there are brands that weren't. And so having this and treating us all equal and being able to showcase female voices is huge.
Well, as far as we're concerned here, there'll always be an equal and even playing field here, and that's the way it should be. I'm really adamant about that, and just happy to help advance it for all artists, because I know everybody's out there giving it their all. And if you're ever in the Nashville area, definitely Whiskey Jam. One of the hottest things going. Also, Tin Roof down there's got a lot going on, and if you're
look me up.
Yeah, and more of the traditional stuff. Shout out to our buddy Jeff Reed at the Local. They're doing a lot of stuff. American Legion Post 82 there. Honky Tonk Tuesdays is cranking back up again. So many great places to watch, even off Lower Broadway, to go watch artists just in all their glory, getting gritty, and it's fun to watch. And everybody puts so much effort into this stuff, and are just trying to be heard and trying to find their voice. And man, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, I'm so thankful. Jeff we have a round coming up. He gave me July 28th. So I'm like, what females, obviously, do I want to do for this round coming up? And I was like, maybe I could ask Crystal King and Gabrielle Metz and people that I've written with, and it could be kind of like a celebration night of songs that I've written with other artists. I think that would be cool. So I'm still thinking about all that, but I'm excited that's coming up really quick.
Definitely be paying attention to the socials. So if you're in the Nashville area, you can go check that out when it happens. As we mentioned earlier, the new single Bird is out now. Tell us a bit about this song.
Oh, yes. Bird is so much fun to perform live. It really, originally I thought the song was going to be called Grit Your Teeth, and I found the Google Doc for it on January 19th of 2019. And then I took it very shortly after, and we started writing the song and finishing it. And the fact that we landed on Bird as the hook, basically the song is just about not flipping people off in the moment when you really want to be like, oh, instead of getting angry, let them move on, let it roll off your back, and just focus on the positive. And that's what the song's about.
Well, we have David Hine checking in from Cumbria in England.
That's
awesome.
Has
a question. His question is, please, can Kirstie play a song for us on the guitar? So perfect opportunity. Why don't you give us a bit of Bird here, and I'm going to step out and let you do that.
Awesome. This, to answer your question, David, this song's for you because you were commenting and asking me to do something for you. But this guitar is actually originally from Texas. and someone was moving, and it's an Ovation, and it's a full-size guitar. So I don't normally travel around with a full-size guitar. But yeah, so I'm going to do a song called Bird, and this is for you, David. Never thought I could be affected by your criticism, poisoned by your cynicism, lost in the shadow side of me, living in the shadow of clouds. But this is my philosophy now. Hey, hey, grit my teeth and bury forgetting. You ain't even strong enough to steal my pride. Shade don't got married, share it with somebody else who wants to waste their time. I'm gonna raise my cheeks and smile for you. Just for the record, I ain't cursing now. You ain't worth it now. You don't deserve my is my currency. Spend it on the positive, loving how I'm dropping it. Better fly, spreading wings, only in my head and my dreams. Read between the corner and ring. Hey, hey, grate my teeth and bury forgetting. You ain't even strong enough to seal my pride. Shade don't got married, share it with somebody else who wants to waste their time. I'm gonna raise my cheeks and smile for you. Just for the record, I ain't cursing now. You ain't worth it now. You don't deserve my word. I ain't cursing now. You ain't worth it now. You don't deserve my word. Breath is my currency. I spend it on the positive, loving how I'm dropping it. I ain't cursing now. You ain't worth it now. You don't deserve my word. I ain't cursing now. You ain't worth it now. You don't deserve my word. You don't deserve my word. You don't deserve
I love it. I love it. Good stuff there. And so many people checking in. I want to give some more shout outs here. Jacob Peterson from Houston, Texas. Thank you for watching. Craig Wilkerson, who's a native, if I can speak correctly, of Deal, Maryland, home of the brothers Osborne. Those guys are out doing it right now. And a few Scotties checking in here. Odell Kruckenberg from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, checking in saying, hey.
I love it.
Also, Sharon Fugelstad here from Greenfield, Wisconsin, says she's enjoying the show here. So thank you to everybody from Wisconsin. Got a little something for all the Wisconsin folks here. I don't know if you can see that there.
Cheese curds.
Yeah. Straight out of Ellsworth today. That's a snack as we get going here. Love the folks at Ellsworth. So shout out to those folks.
Speaking of Brothers Osborne,
yes,
I just did a showcase for Bus Call. And Adam, the drummer for Brothers Osborne, since pretty much the beginning, he was over there hanging out. He's really good friends with my guitar player that plays some live shows with me, Ford Thurston, who just got off the Randy Houser tour. So these are kind of musicians that you can be chilling with in Nashville, and they're all really talented. But Brothers Osborne they're blowing up right now.
Yes, man. I've been watching those guys since they were sneaking out of Nashville and coming up to Louisville here to kind of get out of the spotlight and cut their teeth here, and watched them open shows for Eric Church and some others. And man, they just got a great sound, and they're true to that sound, and love everything they're doing. Well, I tell you what's on the agenda for Kirstie Kraus for the rest of 2021.
Oh, I mean, it's insane. Like I don't want to get cheesy on you guys, no pun intended, but because I'm from Wisconsin. But I'm so grateful that live music is coming back. I'm so grateful that I'm able to do this. It's been 5 years that I've been able to do music full time, and so what that looks like is putting out music, writing a bunch of songs. I have about 11 writes coming up in the next couple weeks, and just a lot of gearing up for 2022 with live shows and doing live shows for 2021. As far as new music, though, I'm going to be releasing this bad boy. It's called Yes You Can, and it is literally, I'm so proud of this record. We put so much effort into putting this together, and that's the last 4 singles that I've released is off this record. There's 11 songs on it with 2 bonus tracks when you buy the physical copy. And the physical copy is actually available right now on my website. So I've been shipping about 3 to 5 of them a week to you name it, whatever city that looks like over in the UK, in the States. It's been really awesome to see the amount of support already for this record and not even have it out yet digitally.
And KirstieKraus.com is where you can go if you want to check that out. So make
Yes.
sure you do that. You talk about all those co-writes. Tell me what that looks like. I mean, how do those go about getting set up, and how do you go about finding the right partners to co-write? Because I know there's a bit of art and science there to that.
Yeah, I'm pretty picky. I think that's only because I've been writing in Nashville with people since I was 15. So I feel like I'm at that place where I know what my strengths are, and I know I have some regulars. Like I have people that I will write with once a month or whenever we can. That I know. Like I'll come up with an idea and I'll be like, listen, I'm gonna go and bring that to Joe or Diane Waters because they'll understand this and we'll come up with something so cool. So it's almost like I'll save ideas for them when I go into writes, and I'll just have a bunch of Google Docs. I've been writing with a lot of new people lately. I've been writing with artists, so any sort of write looks a little different. I primarily am, when I get into a writing room, my strength is the concept. It's to tell the story and put it into lyrics. And when I kind of a lot of times I'll give the person who has the guitar in hand, I'll be like, listen, think Brothers Osborne, this song meets Maren Morris, this song, and this is what I like of it. It's probably going to be a mid-tempo. Let me tell you about the idea. And then I'll maybe like hum a little bit, and they'll be like, okay, we understand where you're going with this. So they'll start doing a groove, and then I'm over there literally like typing and shaping the melody, and they're adjusting what they're playing as I'm like coming up with stuff. So that's a lot of times what a write looks like.
Has the whole process of co-writing changed since you started at age 15? I mean, does it look different how people approach it?
I definitely think so. Like, I feel like now that I am at a point where I am as an artist, there are people who I send them my stuff and they're like, yes, let's write. Or before, maybe we'd have to meet to get me vetted, and they'd have to like interview me and figure out that I'm here to stay. I think now that I've made a footprint in Nashville, if you will, people are realizing I am here to stay and I'm doing the things. And so it's cool that they're like, yeah, like somebody told me about you, let's write, or like, I hear your music, it's great, like, let's write, I understand. And so the more I'm able to release music, the more people are like, cool, I understand what you're going for, I understand your sound, let's get something cool.
What are some of the long-term goals you have for the business?
Next Women of Country. I have a poster of that in my room when Mickey Guyton was performing, and Kaylee Hammock and Rachel Wammack. So just following in their footsteps, being able to play the Opry whenever I want. Lainey Wilson is also on that poster in my room, and being able to write with whoever I want, work with whoever I want for producers, travel the country and other countries for music, and play the Opry all the time. This is all the goals.
I love them. Well, I tell you what, before we get out of here, I want to share one more for you. And this one goes back a little bit. Tell us about the song Silver.
Yeah, Silver. We did a music video for it as well. I got to rent a BMW for that music video, so that was pretty fun. And Silver I wrote with Erica Sunshine Lee and Ark Fu. And that was our first time getting together with Erica Sunshine Lee, who I love. She's all up in the trop rock community as well, and down in Florida. So we talk all the time, but she is from Georgia, and she's telling me this story about how the guy that she was on and off with for like 4 years or more at the time was trying to get her to settle down in Georgia and be at a house and just like almost like stop being her, like stop doing music, stop traveling. And she's like, listen, you signed up for all of this when I was on the road. Like, what did you think I was going to be like when we were in a relationship? And I was like, that's good. Keep talking. Keep going. And I'm like, we need to write that, like, you know. And so the song is just like, you signed up for this when I was gone, and it's like silver just can't be gold, and it's almost kind of a play on you see diamonds, you know, a diamond, and I see red. Like I need to end this relationship, and it's pretty much just the overlying message is being very true to yourself, so that when you do find somebody, they're along the lines of what you want for your life as well.
Well, without further ado, here it is, a little more sass from Kirstie Kraus. This is Silver.
You're the best thing I ever had, but it ain't working. If there was a magic pill I knew could heal this hurt, I would drop a couple mil. Brave lights in my head, you see diamonds, I see red, and you say I'm never home, but you signed up when I was gone. You try to change me, I'm still the same me, silver just can't be gone. We go round in circles. My mama said, honey, you shouldn't be jumping hurdles. Love ain't supposed to be this hard, though once we start driving us apart. Bright lights in my head, you see diamonds, I see red, and you say I'm never home, but you signed up when I was gone. You try to change me, I'm still the same. No better, we can't be together. Silver just can't be gold. You can bring me sugar, babe. We know how it's gonna taste. Even though I've been and break, don't mean I'm gonna stay. Can't convince my heart
Yes,
I
yes.
love it.
Oh, what a great way to wind things down today. Well, I tell you what, if folks want to follow your career, download Bird, keep up on all those tour schedules, anything like that, where can they go to do all that?
Just go to my website, KirstieKraus.com. That has all the links. I'm also a huge fan of Instagram, so feel free to message me on there. I just reached 5,000, which I know maybe some of you sounds like not a lot, but I never participated in the follow and follow or anything that wasn't organic. So I'm really proud to watch these platforms grow just organically on their own. So thank you for the 5,000 followers. That happened yesterday. But yeah, KirstieKraus.com, bands in town, Twitter, Instagram, all the places. Feel free to message me and connect. I would so appreciate it.
There's so much going on with Kirstie. She's going to be out on the road a lot. And, one thing we really didn't talk about a lot, we talked about the Wisconsin shows, but almost become a little bit of a snowbird, so to speak. Here, you've got a special home down there in Florida where a lot of people have adopted you down there as well.
Oh my gosh. I literally feel like I have extended family in Florida now, which is so cool. The goal is to be there 4 times a year. That's kind of what I've been doing. I'll be down there next the end of October, a little bit into November, and go into the meeting of the minds in Key West with all of the trap rockers. So super excited about that. And then of course going back down there for an extended tour in January and February. So I am kind of a snowbird. I like the weather down there. I love the people. My aunt Terry James lives down there, and it's just been really fun to be able to go down there. I just swam with the dolphins in Key West during the Key West Songwriters Festival, so that's this kind of memories I'll never take back. But Florida is definitely kind of a third home for me now.
What was that whole festival like? Because you see so many people posting about it, and they all take away something different from that.
Oh my gosh. It was my first time. So I had an absolute blast. Got to play shows just about every day with friends. It was like all my friends were there. Like it's like everybody migrated from Nashville to Key West. And it was so much fun. And then of course my friend Josh Gallagher was on the docket this year for like the actual stage for Key West Songwriters Fest. And my co-writer for Bird, Mark Addison Chandler, was as well. And so to be able to go and support them, and of course get in that clear blue water, and we definitely did our version of a food tour of Key West. So much good food. I'm a foodie and I love seafood, and that's one of my favorite parts about being down there is you get to play shows and then you get to eat the food at these venues.
Kevin Hartman says that they don't have Wisconsin old fashions in Florida.
That's true. I mean, my aunt she's a bartender down there, so I could ask her for an old fashioned, but there are a lot of people that may, not know about old fashions. Even in Nashville, when you ask for one, they're kind of like, what? What's in that? But yeah, that's true. You guys have really good old fashions up there at Sweetwater and Eagle River. Shout out. That's amazing old fashions.
Well, I'd say you bring up Josh Gallagher. We had him on the other show before. I need to get him back on here too. Great guy to work with.
Yeah, I've known him literally for like 7 years now. And so back when we all used to play the Row Kitchen and Eatery here in Nashville, and it's just been so much fun. Also, Justin Love was one of those that hung out at the Row with all of us, and Laurel, that's part of Laurel. What is she part of? This new duo. It's the Young Fables. You've heard of the Young Fables, right?
Yep.
All of us used to hang out at the Row like back in the day, and we've known each other for 7 years now. Yeah.
And now everybody is becoming 7-year overnight successes, huh?
Right. That's how it works. I got really lucky just because I've been able to do so many visits to Nashville before I actually moved here. So technically, it's like I've lived here longer than I have full time.
Absolutely. And you're definitely making the most of it. And Kirstie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on Inside Farm Life. We hope you'll come back again and again to share music or just hang out and tell us more about what's going on there in the Music City.
Absolutely. Thank you. Of course, I would love to come back. I was so happy to see your email come through, and just thank you to you and Farm Life Media for having me today. I really, really appreciate it.
And we would be remiss if we also didn't mention that she does a little podcasting on the side as well as co-host with the Backstage Pass, Brandon Morrell, and they do a great job interviewing artists as well. So when you're not checking out this one, go check those guys out. Feel any different being on the other side of the microphone?
It does feel a little different. Thank you for that Backstage Pass shout out. Those guys over there, they, we text all the time, and the fact that I get to interview these artists that are on the Opry stages and that are on big PR companies and labels every week is amazing. It's so much fun to be in the interviewing chair, getting to know them and coming up with funny questions, like how do they like their coffee and stuff like that. So it definitely feels like two different roles, though. And recently they had me be in the artist chair to promote Bird, so that was really cool that we flipped the tables a little bit.
Well, I love it. You're doing a great job with that, and we're thankful for any time we get with you over here as well. And go check her out, KirstieKraus.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And we want to thank you guys for joining us today here for this first Inside Farm Life Live. We invite you to come back this Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern as my special guest, will be National Farmers Union President Rob LaRue. We're going to be talking about some of the hot button issues in agriculture, as well as some of that organization's key legislative priorities. So if you're into agriculture and you want a different perspective, make sure you come back 1 p.m. Eastern this Friday here on the Farm Life Facebook page and also the YouTube channel. Well, have you subscribed to the Inside Farm Life podcast yet? We're a couple of episodes in. We're just getting started, and we'd love to have you. Each week we bring you agricultural news and features, as well as the best in true traditional country music. And you can find that at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Deezer, Audible, and Odyssey. And this week we're going to be talking with Versatile's Adam Reed about a couple new high horsepower tractors that they've got on the market. And our buddy Jesse Allen, who's a great artist in his right, as well as a great farm broadcaster, is going to break down the week in the markets on Market Talk. And our buddy, the hot rod farmer, Ray Bohax, is going to be talking about heat soak on bushels and cents this week. You're not going to want to miss that. Also, we're going to hear from our friend here, Kirstie Kraus. So make sure you go and subscribe to the Inside Farm Life podcast so you don't miss an episode of it. Well, friends and neighbors, the clock on the wall says it's time to get up out of here. Again, we want to thank Kirstie Kraus for being a part of the show today, and we want to thank you too. So until next time, it's Brent Adams. Hey, let's meet up here again on Friday, shall we? And bring along a friend.
You've been listening to Inside Farm Life, a production of Farm Life Media. If you have topic suggestions for future episodes, drop us a line at brent@farmlifemedia.com. And be sure to check out our website, farmlifemedia.com.